Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
How are you doing today, Paddy?
I'm doing very well. Thank you. How about you?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
It's a beautiful, beautiful day here in Dubai. I went for a nice long walk and the sky is always blue. It's
It is.
beautiful.
It is. Especially, you see, beginning of the year, we had some rain. So now you can see all the green is really shining, more
Yeah,
green.
yeah, that's true. Vancouver's a rainforest, so we get the biblical 40 days and 40 nights of rain at this time of year. So to have blue skies is just magnificent. I
It
love it.
is. It is. Okay, so today is the last day in our event. So we will start talking about the last item in the GPS. And there will be, at the end of this seminar, I will be sharing an opportunity for whoever would like to join us to work with us, me and Paddy. I will be presenting some ideas, what we are doing and how we can really help you to achieve your goals. So stay tuned. I'll go through some slides. Paddy will be always supporting me all the way. And then at the end, we'll open the door for Q&A. So let's start. Let me just start my slides. All right. So there's the Zoom. Sorry, again. Here we go. All right. So today we'll be discussing the third item, which is first we talked the first day about the goals. And it is important, these goals, again, maybe I'll ask everyone to keep it in his mind. That goal, what he is trying to achieve this year, 2022, or for the next 5 years. And what is important about the goals that you really, really, really wanted. It's nothing, yeah, it's a wishful thinking. No, you badly want it. In a way, this is a burning desire inside you. Because I tried it many times. I have many dreams, many things in my mind. Yeah, I want to do this and this. And it was always, I call it a wishful thinking, till the point I start having a burning desire for a goal. And the more I visualize about what will happen, how the life will change, how I will be working and doing with other people, at that moment, I had that burning desire. So for you, you need to see that part. The second day, we talked about the paradigm and what is holding most of us. We have bigger dreams, and those bigger dreams, they are not impossible, but it is always not the problem in the goals, but what is holding us back always is some our habits or beliefs that we need to do a shift and upgrade for those habits and beliefs in order to start going forward and execute. Today, we will be talking about the self-image. And sometimes Bob, when he teach this material, he has one of his classes. He spent, hello? Yeah, maybe I'll mute everyone just to make sure. Yeah, it's okay, no problem. So Bob can spend, how would I say, maybe 6 to 8 weeks just talking about the self-image. Because today when we present it, you will see how important that self-image in controlling every part of your life. This is simply the self-image is the way you see yourself. So to start with, I will share with you, first of all, just to remind when we talked about the power of thoughts, how important we should be careful about the thoughts we are keeping in our mind. Because those thoughts, if they are small ones, they are like you planting a seed. If it is good, that's good. You will get, at the end, you will grow that tree. If it is bad, then you will get in trouble. This is about an experiment done in late 1700. There was a psychiatrist, his name is Borhev, and everyone, when they look under his experiment, they know that this guy is crazy. So what he did, that guy, he said, I want to see people to notice what will happen with them when they start dying. In a way, I want to see their emotions, what is happening in their body and that. So he agreed with the government to run this test with other psychiatry. And he chose that since there are some prisoners are with a sentence with death, so why don't I pick one? So anyway, I will make it short. He selected one. He agreed to go to this experiment, and he promised that guy some financial monetary for his money, for his family, and so on. So what they did, this is not what's called the true picture, but this is representing what they did with that prisoner. So they put that guy on a chair and they tied him. Then they covered his, how they say, eyes. And they told him what we will do is, and they explained to him the experiment, that we will run this experiment. I will cut your hand. You will start feeling the blood and you will hear that it is dripping. Then I want you every second or every 10 seconds, you tell me exactly what is happening with you. So we can record every moment. So when they started the experiment, that prisoner felt that there's a cut in his hand. And he started feeling the hot blood, is coming out. And there was one bucket below that he can start hearing the dripping of his blood. And while they were running the experiment, after exactly 7 minutes, that prisoner had died. He passed away. So it was really so emotional. But what is shocking for everyone in the room, that this guy, the prison, wasn't bleeding. What they did, they told him, we are cutting your hand. And it was just like a scratch. And they were running some pipes with a hot water similar to the temperature of the body. And it was flowing the same speed as the blood flow in the body. And normally, our body, after 7 minutes of bleeding, you will get a heart stroke. And this is what was happening. So if you think about this person, he was everything imagining in his mind. He was hearing the blood. He was feeling about the blood is bleeding. He was visualizing, he'd been cut in his hand. And this is what killed him. The fact, nothing else other than his thoughts. Paddy, you would like to share something before I move?
There are so many cases today in modern medicine. I mean, there's the whole placebo effect that they study now, and how the mind can really, really very much affect the way in which you feel. Thoughts are so powerful. One thing that Bob often says, and this is why when we go back to what do I want, we want to use our imagination, because the electromagnetic power of our thoughts is stronger than any power station that we have invented on this planet. The power of thought, as that slide is called, can make or break you. I used to work with people who were cancer patients, and many of them, if that doctor said you had a year to live, they were dead in a year, But then there were those other people who said, wait a minute, I don't feel that, I don't experience that. And they tried different meditations, they tried different things. They really worked on focusing on their brain and their mind. And sure enough, many of them, as a matter of fact, I was just on a call just before this, and there was a doctor, a woman doctor on there, who just told the story of being wheeled into the cancer surgery, and bad news. And, we hope this surgery, they were doing first the biopsy, and then they were going to follow up with that. They were going to do this major surgery. And as she talked about the doctor looking at her, and everybody, she's on the cart on the bed, and everybody's looking at her with sad face. And she just, something came in her and said, no, I don't believe this is going to happen. She had the biopsy, they scheduled the surgery. She boldly went to the oncologist and said, I'm not having the surgery. That was 5 years ago. She's now working in the health and wellness business, had a cancer that by all counts and purposes would have destroyed her, would have killed her, but she chose a different way of thinking. Now, I know from working with cancer patients that sometimes the fact is you're going to die, and there's just, that's your time, it's God's will. But a lot of times there's the work of so many people, Dr. Bernie Siegel, so many famous oncologists who will tell you, when you get that cancer diagnosis, don't buy it lock, stock, and barrel. Because if you believe it, then you can indeed create that death. And of course, as I said, sometimes death is inevitable. Nobody's getting out of here alive. We're all going to meet our maker at the end. But the power of thought can make one healthy or can make one very ill. And as I say, just 20 minutes ago, here was this beautiful young woman talking about how it just came to her. The thought came to her, no, I just don't feel this is right. And here she is, showing other people how to control their thoughts when they are diagnosed with cancer.
This is really great. It's a good story. So today we will be sharing a couple of stories about the same topic, about self-image and how it can really impact your life. These are all true stories, what I'm going to share. Another story, now there's a quote that no matter the circumstances, you always have the loss of the human freedom to choose your attitude. So we always have a choice, either like that lady, she had a choice that she's not accepting this fact that she want to go for a surgery. No, so you always have a choice, and you have a choice that you can accept what is happening in the outside, or you can reject it. Now, maybe some of you know Heath Ledger. He's an actor. He's the one who was in the Dark Knight. And this actor, and this is a famous, I think he passed away in 2008 or 9.
Yeah.
So this gentleman, and he was 28. So for him to prepare for the role of the Joker, Ledger locked himself in a hotel room for a month and experimenting for what will turn out to be one of the most defining negative characters of all time. So what he did in that room, he said, and this is a quote from Ledger, I ended up landing more in the realm of a psychopath, someone with a very little to no conscience towards his acts. He's just an absolute psychopath, a cold-blooded mass murdering clown. And unfortunately, Ledger became that person, because when they diagnosed the reason for him, he was in a deep depression and he took an overdose of those pills for him that really killed him. All the people knew before he started, practicing and becoming an actor for the Joker. He was a funny guy. He was so energetic, and you can name it. But because he started acting and thinking and behaving like that person, it became his reality. So you can see how those thoughts And those self-images can really either destroy you or can make you a very successful person. This is another story for a young lady. This is in the book of Maxwell Maltz. What's called? The psychocybernetic. And he told this story because of part of the self-image. And this is for a teenager. Every time she looks on the mirror, she sees herself a fat girl. And she was really annoyed, depressed. She stopped eating. And still when she started losing weight, whenever she looks back, she still sees herself a fat girl. At her age, normally girls and teenagers have a weight of 60 kg. She lost 20 kg, become 40. Her parents rush her to the hospital because she is rejecting and refusing to take any food. Because, I mean, this is become obsessed about her shape and how she looks like. A reporter heard about the story and said, no, this is crazy, cannot be. When he walked into the room, he was shocked. He was seeing a skinny teenager. He said, there is something wrong. He asked that teenager, can you please stand up and look at the mirror and tell me what you are seeing? She stood up and looked at the mirror and she said, you see how my cheeks are fat? You see my body, how it looks like? So he was totally shocked about the fact how people see themselves, others are seeing totally different. And this is how that self-image really can control you in a way how you act, think, walk, talk, everything in your life. So there's a nice quote, it is not who you are that holds you back. It is who you think you are not. So it is not who you are that holds you back. It is who you think you are not. And this is what is holding you back. Now, to explain, and this is scientific from the book of Maxwell Maltz, about how our mind and that self-image work like the thermostat. And the thermostat, we all either in cold countries or hot countries, if we cold, you put it for the burner. For hot countries, we put it for the AC. So the same thing, you set up the temperature and you set the room temperature at a certain degree, let's say 22, then it starts cooling down. Let's say this is in a cold country, it went down to 17 outside. Then again, at 16, then you will see the furnace, the burners start running till it increase the temperature of the room. So it keeps going till it reaches to the set point, then it stops. Our self-image is the same happening automatically. And I will share with you a story which happens with me because I knew this is a fact. This is my youngest daughter. Her name is Yasmin. I thought today to share some of real stories because I was really shocked, but knowing what is happening, how is it? So she's always an A student. She's good in her school. So, and every year she's expecting me to give her a present, a gift. One year, I told her, no, I'm not going to give you anything. So her self-image, once she look at herself and her concept about herself, she's a high grades in school. This is what she's seeing. Anything below that, you will see shouting, crying, you know, it's like a nightmare, something wrong went. But this is how her self-image. So I told her, hey, I'm not going to give you any gift, any present. This is your norm. I don't care. She said, I will not study. I said, if it is you decide. I don't care. You want to study or not. This is your future. So what she did, she stopped studying for a couple of days, and she was back in her homeworks and so on. Then after, I'm telling you, after a couple of days, she couldn't stand without studying, and she went back to her norm that she should keep studying and getting scores. She cannot accept below an A. So in a way, whatever she tries, she cannot, because this is her self-image. This is the same, you can reflect it for poor student, the same self-image is controlling their results. And so if this is the case, so that means we need to do something different. If I'm not getting the results I'm not getting, then I need to start developing my own self-image. This is one of my clients. I call him Mr. Z. He asked me not to share his, but he's okay for people to contact him, but not on public. So he is really, when I start working with him, he want to set up a company in IT, giving services for customers. And he was so soaked and deeply in technical. And this is how he is feeling comfortable working with. And he was struggling to set up a company or start selling his products to people. So he told me, I need a solution. What we did, we work on his self-image. And for 90 days, he started every day. We develop a script for his self-image, and every day he starts rehearsing that self-image, the one we created for him. On day 90, for him, magic happens. And he immediately called me. He told me, Coach, I want to talk to you and I want to tell you what happens with me. I said, go ahead. So we had a Zoom call like this one and had a discussion. He said, there is one client, I remember when I started working with you, I went to him to present what I am offering, the same presentation I'm normally offer to people. He looked at me and said, come on, this is a crazy guy. I will not listen to him. He said the same presentation. I went on day 90. The moment I start talking to this guy, he said he did not let me to continue. He immediately told me, hey, I'm working with you. I can trust you now. He said, the only thing I changed is I work on the new person, the new CEO. I want to become the person I walk, dress, and talk and think. This is the new character I wanted. So people immediately think that, oh, this self-image should happen too soon, or no. Sometimes it takes a long time till you develop this new self-image. What Sandy says, the results that you are achieving are a direct reflection of the image of yourself you are holding. Simply improve the image and the improvement will automatically be reflected in your results. Paddy, you like to share anything before
You know, thank you very much, Mohammed. When you asked me this morning, did I have a story? And I said, my mind was blank. It wasn't so much that my mind was blank, it's that there were so many. This is a pandemic, in my experience, of people not having that strong self-image. So there's many stories, but one that came to mind a number of years ago, perhaps 8 or 10 years ago, I was asked to put together a leadership program for women, mainly in Eastern Europe. Now, this was for the Toastmasters International Organization, because many of them were not stepping up into leadership positions. And I thought, well, isn't that peculiar? So being somewhat of a social scientist, I put together a survey and I sent it out to all of the women that were going to be participants. And without fail, every answer had the phrase, not enough. I'm not smart enough. I don't know enough. I'm not experienced enough. I don't have enough time. Not enough, not enough, not enough. And I really thought about this. And I wrote the program called You Are Enough. And we spent 10 months. There were 2 groups, 11 women per group. And a lot of it was because they just didn't have the skill set, but a lot of it was just walking around on the planet, like so many of us, with this I'm not enough self-image. It's not what, you see, that's what we think we're not. And that's what gets in our way, is what we're not, what we think we are not. And we think, many of us, and women, yes, for sure, but men also, it presents a little bit differently in men. But I work with men and women, and I work with clients in over 110 countries. And I've never met a person yet who came to the sessions feeling that they really were enough. And to get people to understand that our self-image is what in fact creates the barriers to our success, whether we are successful or not, comes from this feeling. They're very closely linked to paradigms. Well, let me say that at the end of the 10 months, it really was one of the most rewarding programs. I couldn't even look in the camera at them. We were on Skype. I couldn't look at them because the compliments that they were giving over their growth and the huge, just by taking control of their self-image, because this is what we really talked about. And I was looking out my window because if I looked at them, I was just going to start crying like a baby. I'll never, ever forget it. But more importantly than that, almost every one of them went on to leadership, if not in the Toastmasters organization, in their jobs. Many of them coming from Eastern Bloc countries, whereas women, it's still very, very difficult. There's a lot of stereotyping that fed into their not enough. They fought that back. And I just heard from one the other day. She had put her name in to run for international director of Toastmasters. She was not accepted. Her nomination was not accepted. But she wrote this letter saying it all went back to that program years ago and how she feels so confident and fine about herself, even though she did not achieve her objective, because she knows that she is enough. So when you asked me this question this morning, I thought, oh, I could just give you countless stories. Even when I was back teaching the skating, you know, to kids, that one girl I taught that she always failed. She would automatically, she'd make herself fall. She was very well prepared to take the test. She'd blow the test every time. And I said, why? And she said, because I can't see myself as a success. She was about 14. I will never forget her. That was way back in the 70s. So this is a subject that's very near and dear to me. And I think that we can, it's very closely linked, as you can tell, to our paradigms. Those paradigms, and the more we hear this negative stuff, the more we begin to internalize and believe it. And I think that Dr. Maltz is right, that how we see ourselves defines our success or our barriers to our success. And it's not about being an egomaniac, like, well, it's not about that. It's a quiet knowing that I'm worthy. You know, we're all worthy just because we're born. I mean, you know, if we weren't worthy, we wouldn't be here. Somebody else would be being Paddy Kennedy. It wouldn't be this person, right? We're all worthy. And it's a human dilemma. And it is very much a pandemic. We talk a lot these days about COVID. Well, poor self-image and a lack of worth is equally a pandemic in my experience. Clients, I think it's 112 countries now. And I can tell you, I've never met anybody. And those that come with that bravado, that I'm confident, no, they are not. They're the most insecure of all. That's why they boast so much. So it's, I want you all to think about it, you know, we are worthy, and our image, and it's very, you know, you talk about the woman who was overweight. It's the same with anorexics, and girls that have starving themselves, and, you know, they think that they're fat everywhere. But Dr. Maltz talks about, you know, fixing somebody's ears because they stuck out, and the guy comes back and says, I paid you all that money, you didn't do anything. And Dr. Maltz is like, what are you talking about? I pinned your ears to your head. No, you didn't look at them. They're still sticking out and they're pinned to the guy's head. So it's a very powerful, powerful weapon. And it can either be used to destroy us or we can use it as a tool to move us forward. And I encourage you through affirmations, the I am. This is something I do want to say. I encourage everybody to do I am writing every morning and again every night. I am fearless. I am powerful. I am strong. I am beautiful. I am love. I am loved. This is not a new age exercise. This goes way back, way, way, way back. It's found in all of the holy books, the I am. And that's one of the best ways to build up, because you cannot get rid of the negative paradigm or the negative self-image by focusing on what's wrong. You can only replace it by focusing on what's right. You can only get rid of your weaknesses by focusing on your strengths. If you spend all your time looking at your weaknesses, you're just going to create more. It becomes a weakness. So I am is whether you're in thinking into results or you're a CEO, I encourage the I am exercise because it really was probably more than anything what changed my dealing with my own self-worth issues.
That's great. That's really, really great. Thank you, Paddy. You remind me one client when I started working with him over this 6 month. We set up his goal. He want to make $1 million a year for him. This was a big number. He never seen that number. So then start working on his paradigm. Going through the lessons and the knowing doing gap and start trying to change or working to change his paradigm. As we reach, so we were thinking, and he was thinking that there was some discipline that he was not committed enough to do the work. So we worked together to make him disciplined to start taking action and doing the work. The moment I start talking to him about lesson 6 and this thinking it results the self-image, he looked at me and he said, what is my problem? I said, what is your problem? He said, I don't believe that I will be a rich person. I said, so you will never be a rich person. I said, yeah, it's so simple. He was really surprised that what was holding him back, that he doesn't believe, although he put all the goals and start working, thinking that it is a discipline issue, it turned out it is more. It is his self-image. He cannot see himself as a rich person. I said, okay, so let's just start working on it, changing that part. Yeah. Okay, there are a few slides I'd like to share, then we can open the Q&A. So now, for us, as we discussed over the 3 days, and again, I remind everyone, if they are really, really serious about their goal, and this is what they want, and they have a burning desire, trust me, you need to start acting. You don't need to do huge things, just do small things every day, rather than, and then you start seeing the results. So now, I know some people will be asking, how can I develop a new successful habits to start a business or to start changing my life or to start be disciplined? Or how can I be always at my best, regardless whatever happening, market up, market down, people crying, people shouting, I don't care. I want to be always at the best with a positive energy all the time. And how can I have an environment, a group who will encourage me to follow through? I know some people, they're struggling to find the right people who's going to really to push them every day to go up rather than pull them down. You might ask, is there a system, a community that helped me to achieve my goals and results? Absolutely. I mean, there is a system. People can do it. And if you want, you need really to consider yourself, if you're serious about your goals, to find some people to help you, find a mentor, find a group of people who you want to like. For me and Paddy, you see, this is what we have. This is how we do a group coaching. We do orientation where we have a system and community where we teach people over a 6 month. Every time we meet, every 2 weeks, there's incredible business and mindset lessons. And the good thing is it's a lifetime where we take you from first step, setting a goal, finding the right goal. And we're talking about the C-type goal, then identifying your paradigm, then start working your paradigm, then understanding the mind, then developing your mental skills, because some of us, we're not using our mind in the proper way. Developing the right self-image, how to start, because many people, when they want to go for a big goal they never done before, immediately fear will kick in. And I know many people who have big dreams that fear, when it kicks in, they stop, they don't want to do it. So we address that part. And we go with the different topics and skills trying to develop people. So what you will find out, there's like a peer-to-peer support community. It's like masterminding, each one of us helping each other. And they are so inspiring. For me, to be honest, when I was doing my own group coaching with a group of people, being a coach and a mentor, I was so inspired about the people results and how they were achieving. I was really enjoying every time they share their wins. So this is something I thought to be shared. Now, if you have any questions, you'd like to reach us one-to-one, you have Paddy contacts here, you have mine. Feel free to reach us anytime. We'll be happy to work with you, and we will be proud that I mean, me and Paddy, we put really a goal that in 2022, we'd like to help 100 people. So we are willing really to help them take them hand in hand to make sure that they achieve the result they wanted. And if you'd like to add anything, Paddy, before we start opening the questions.
No, I think one of the most important points in those slides is finding a community of like-minded people. First of all, when you set off on your big C-type goal, many people are of the school of thought that you shouldn't tell too many people, because then you're going to lay yourself wide open to, that'll never work, you can't do that, here we go again, another one of your big plans. And it tends to beat us down. One of the, I know Mohammad used to be the leader of the 6 a.m. club that I go to every morning. They meet in South Africa, so it's 8 a.m. for me. It sounds really good that I'm up at 6 a.m. on the, but you know, I have to tell you, we meet 5 mornings a week. 1 morning a week, we have a mastermind where it's all very well timed. We have an hour, we come with our wins, and then we come with our asks, what we're asking, and then we get support. And we often finish the week saying, I just don't know how we could ever make this program work if we did not have the support of each other. And it's not just like, you go girl, it's not just that kind of support. They say things that I maybe would not think of. It might take me 6 months to think of what they have just said like that out of nowhere. I think that it's really very important to find yourself in a group, and even if you want to stay in touch in this group, you need to find a group of like-minded people. You know, I want to tell you a story. Years and years ago when I was I can't remember if it was Las Vegas or Los Angeles at a Bob Proctor. I think it was The Science of Getting Rich, 3-day seminar. Oh, I used to just love them. He was so incredible. He is so incredible. And he was writing, I had the big whiteboard, very simple additions. 9 plus 3 is 12, and 8 plus 5 is, and he just did them all. He did about 10 or 11 of them. And then he made a mistake. And 2,000 people in the audience in unison hollered, you made a mistake. And I'll never forget, he turned around and he said, isn't that interesting? I just did all of these ones correctly and never said a word. I make one little mistake and 2,000 of you are jumping all down my back. Now, granted, we didn't want him to be embarrassed, and we wanted him because it was a very simple addition. But the point remains, he was proving to us that we are in fact wired to be naysayers. You made a mistake. This is why it's really important. I've said throughout these 3 days, this work requires courage. When I first started the work with Bob, he did not have the system in place that he does now. So we would go for these 3-day intensive, and oh my God, you're going to go home, you're going to change your life, you're going to do everything. And after a couple of weeks, it had all kind of fallen apart. And he gave us an idea of what to do, but none of us could really stick to it. We needed a support group to help each other find the courage to keep shifting those paradigms. We all come from cultures that say you should not be too bold. You should not brag about yourself. You should watch that self-image. Don't let it get too big. Nobody likes a braggart. The whole world has that kind of culture. This is quiet work that needs the support of people who get it. People who love you will say it can't happen because they want to protect you. They don't want you to get hurt. But this is bold, brave, daring work. And if you want to live a life that you love, and if you want to achieve those results that you see only in your mind, come together, find yourself a group, trust each other. There's principles of the mastermind that I know Mohammad and I would be willing to share with you, but I cannot say it strongly enough. Please, if you're going to venture out into this brave new world, get yourself some colleagues who are also on that road, on that journey.
Thank you so much, Paddy. Thank you. So we'd like to open questions, Q&A. Who have any question? Yeah, Pegam.
Sorry, I was late just now, attending to my granddaughters. So if we wish to join you, as you said, you like to help 100 people this year, what would the procedure or process be like?
Right. So the process, I mean, we'll get in touch with you and we'll explain to you more in details about the program that we are covering. It is over a 6 month. We'll give you the details. What do you expect from us? But we want your commitment in return. And there's some financial part of it we will be disclosing when we talk to you and explain to you. Yeah.
So it will be done by email? Yes?
No, we can do it on Zoom. I mean, you can contact, if you want, we can arrange a meeting, me or Paddy, we can arrange a call, either one of us.
I need to book a call, is it?
Yeah, book a call, or
Yes.
we can, yeah, you can drop us an email and book a call, and then we can work it out. Yeah.
It's at no charge to you. We don't charge for a call. You're all welcome to call both of us together, either one of us separately. It's up to you, but we are here to help you find your way through this program.
Okay. So I'll do that.
Okay.
I'll send you I'll drop you a line or send you an email.
Please do.
That
Please do.
will be great. Thank you, Pegam. Maybe I want to also again re-emphasize what Paddy said. For me, what made a difference in my success is the like-minded people. Now, I'm not saying that you have to work with us, but trust me, the only way you want to make a success, find an accountability partner to make sure that he is on top of you and you are committed in front of him for doing the work. I mean, it's our paradigm. No, I don't want anyone to follow up or to, follow up on me on a daily basis. But trust me, because you need to develop that habits. You need to start changing your beliefs. You need someone to tell you, yeah, but you can look on a different way, on that different perspective. And then, oh, me, I didn't thought about that solution. And this is the nice about having a like-minded people, because everyone is really want the help and the success for others. There is no competition. There's only creation, and everyone is enjoying other people wins. Yeah.
But basically, Mohammad, I mean, I come from a culture where, you know, when you reach my age, oh, you're no longer young enough. You know, you're not young. It's not you shouldn't be going after all this, you know. You should be more spiritually focused, spend your time with your grandchildren, things like that. But I'm a bit self-driven and I like to do what I want to do. So, you know, I like to know what you can offer so that maybe I can, you know, think about it and decide whether how to join.
All right, that will be great. I'm
Okay.
telling you, you don't know, none of us knows when his day will come. You might say till 100 years. So why the heck you spend those 35 years doing nothing? I mean, look at Bob Proctor. He is now 86 or 87.
87,
Yeah,
87.
and he's still working. I mean, you can see him when we attend face to face with him. This guy is amazing. And he's still working. I don't know. So for me, let's enjoy the time, that moment, 1 year, 2 years, I don't care. Let me do whatever I really like to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I would just like to add, first of all, with all due respect, my dear friend, I'm older than you. And I'm still going strong. And women in the world, we are not encouraged at my age, our age, to start careers. Nobody, nowhere are we. It's just but think of it this way. Think of when you really are living a life that you love. Think of the quality of time that you will spend with your grandchildren. You have, was it 19 people who are banking on you, who are relying on you. Just imagine the quality of time that you can give them. So, and I know, you know, in this part of the world where I am, I'm a lonesome Charlie here because I don't have any girlfriends my age that, or even in Canada. They're all retiring now and they're staying with their grandchildren and they're looking at me like I'm crazy. But I really feel strongly that, look, when I was a little girl, I prayed every night, dear God, please take me first. I want to be the first one to die. I don't want to be the last one. Well, God did not hear my prayer. And when my brother died, he was the last, with the exception of my son, he was the last of my family, aunts, uncles, siblings, parents, even cousins. I think I have one cousin whom I've never met. And I fell into a deep depression. Like, God, couldn't you have just done this one thing? I mean, I've had a lot of prayers that you haven't answered, but this one was really important. And then, Begum, it hit me like a ton of bricks. You're not finished. If you were finished, you would have been gone a long time ago. But you got places to go, people to meet, things to do. I made you a teacher. Now quit whining, quit complaining, get off your backside and get out into the world. And so it doesn't matter what the age is. Can you imagine I'm going to be 70 on my next birthday, but Bob is 87. Bob just turned 87. He's writing new programs.
I totally agree with you, Paddy. It's just that the culture that we come from,
Yes.
especially families like mine, where there's a lot of mixtures, they don't think like how I think. So we do have conflict of interest. So I find my breakthrough or maybe like solution with friends outside. So who can think like me and but many of them are all like they're ladies of leisure, so they don't have to work. So I like to join these type of groups. And when I told them I was attending a 2-day, 3 days master class about goal setting, some of them were just blinking at me this morning. What the hell are you doing up at 10:30 at night? and doing goal setting at your age. I
Well,
say,
that's
okay,
why
fine.
that's why you find a group of like-minded people. I don't
True.
think there's anybody in any culture that would deny the fact that we are born in the likeness of our great creator God, and we are here to fulfill his vision of us. I don't, in my understanding of world global religions, and I hear what you're saying about culture, and culture can give us some pretty strong paradigms.
True.
And you got to find a way to balance them. I think that, you know, many people go through this. Wives want to start businesses and the husbands are saying, no, 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 just do it quietly. Find your little, I'm not saying go behind their back. I'm not saying be dishonest in any stretch of the imagination, but you're not under any obligation to tell everybody everything that you do every day of your life. You are entitled to have some moments to yourself. So find groups of people, contact me. I'm an old gal. I'll talk to you about this. I'll help and support you along with this. It is a paradigm. Cultural paradigms are very, very difficult. But I want you to continue to think about it, because imagine the life that you can give them when you become all that you were born to be.
Thank you, Paddy. Thank you, Mohammad.
Thank you. Thank you. Laurent, you want to? Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Once again, thanks for this fantastic moment. And what I wanted to know when I'm looking at goals, paradigms, and self-image, let's say the weakest link is the paradigm. Is there some kind of available tools that can, with questionnaire and so on, put me on a matrix, and from this matrix define some recommended actions and to correct? Because my paradigm is not that strong, but because I'm realized it's not strong, I'm not able to deal properly.
Yeah.
See? And no, it's not that important. I will do it whenever I want. And at the end of the day, I arrive, I keep delaying the action to be done. And my self-image of myself, I've been, since I met Paddy and other people, I really already get out, like, you know, transform myself from the caterpillar to the butterfly. But I don't think that my wings, if you see the picture, are properly open and serve the real purpose of my true potential. You see what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mohammad, would you like to answer that? And then I can add in at the end.
All right. Yeah. I want to share with you one story of a client. When I started working with him at the middle of, after 3 months, he told me, you know, the biggest benefit I had from working with you, I start knowing myself more. I wasn't knowing and aware about myself. And this is every client who join Thinking Into Results. It's all about you. You don't know Laura. Trust me. You think you know yourself? No. I wasn't. I thought I was knowing exactly myself. I did not. Because it forces you, that program, to look more inside, because change will not happen from outside. It's all from inside. The nice thing about this program, the tools it has, in addition to the content, the material, the tools, we have exercises after each lesson. You have to do it on a daily basis. Because today, like the first lesson, when we talk about setting a goal, everyone, when he comes, I know my goal, I can tell you now, so let's move on. I said, please, can you do me a favor? They said, yes. Can you do this exercise for a week? Then come after a week and tell me what is your goal. Every client came with a totally different goals than what he thought initially he wanted. Because we think that we want things Actually, we don't. We need something else. That's what we found out. So in a way, those tools and listening to the program every day, this is part. I know there's some work, 1 hour a day you need to spend for this study. Then you start learning more about Laurent, how he thinks, what is holding him back, why he's doing what he's doing, how he can change it, what tools I have to help me to change. So this is how we are running the program. Paddy?
And it's a tried and true system. There are worksheets. And in my 6 a.m. club, you know, where people say, yeah, I haven't got around to the worksheets yet. You have to do the worksheets. For example, Laurent, for me, I think it's lesson 2 is called the knowing doing gap. And this is the introduction really to, we know better, but we don't do better. So to become a consultant in this organization, you have to listen to the video every morning and then again in the evening. And you have to study. You have to study every day. And let me just tell you, I got so in that 2 weeks, you have to do this every day, twice a day for 2 weeks at least. Some lessons I took 4 weeks because I really needed it the repetition to get in there. With that darn knowing doing gap, after like 13 days, I was so sick and tired of myself knowing better, but not doing better, that I just said, okay, this is enough of this. And I did the worksheets. There's something magical when you put a pen to a paper, as Mohammad was saying about writing the goal every day for a week or 2 weeks. You come up with something different. You go deeper and deeper and deeper. So it's a tried and true system. You have to do the work. There are many people that think, okay, it's an academic performance. I've signed, I've paid the money, now I'm in, boom. No, it's not magic. It works like magic as you go, well, how did that work? But it works because you show up every day. The other thing is when you get in with a support group, so you're going along and you're saying, you know, I know better, but this paradigm keeps getting in my way. And then someone says, you know, I have the same thing. And all of a sudden you're like, you're kidding. I'm not the only one here. Well, and then somebody else, I've had that paradigm too. You know what I did to beat it. So this is again why you need this support group. But this system, you know, we could call it, there is the program, The Science of Getting Rich. It is a science. You do the work, you're going to get the results. There's no doubt about it, but there's no magic potion except doing the work. So there is a system in place that, you know, do you have a matrix? Well, you have a lot of questions that you have to do them. You do the worksheets and then you find like a month later, I got to go back and do those worksheets again, because every time you do them, you go deeper and deeper and deeper. So as much as you want to dive into this program, we encourage you to do it. Remember that every paradigm that you have, you learn through repetition. You can't do that. Who do you think you are? You can't sing, you can't dance, you can't. The whole world is willing to say you can't. You heard it so many times that you begin to internalize it and believe it. And the only way to replace that paradigm is to use repetition with the new positive paradigm. It's all training the subconscious mind. There are really deep exercises. You get very deep into the subconscious mind and how it operates and the difference between the conscious mind. You know, one thing that blew my mind is in the 4th lesson, I think. The mind is not a thing. The mind is an activity. Oh my gosh, that just threw me right back in my chair. I'm like, what? The brain is a thing, but the mind is an activity. Aha. So if it's an activity, then maybe I can have some sway over the way it's working. Because it's my activity. It's me that's feeding the mind these thoughts. And I can just as easily, it takes the same amount of energy to think negatively as it does to think positively. So it's a very profound program. In my 50 years coaching, I've never promoted anybody else's work like this. And I put my whole reputation on this work because you know a little bit about me. I grew up in a very violent home with a drunken father who was like, shut up and sit down. You never amount to anything. Who's ever going to want to listen to you? And now I have a global communication company and people all over the world want to listen to me, and they pay me good money to listen to me because I had to change those paradigms. And I did it through the help of Bob Proctor and these programs.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Paddy. Anyone? Alia, Rahman, Anka, Eva, any question?
Yes, I have a not so much of, well, I'm so excuse me everyone, I'm gonna say a verse of Quran and I want to confirm with Muhammad if it's related to this paradigm thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of a person like when I have a doubt, I turn to Quran, you know, my mind works this way. So Ustad Muhammad, there is a verse of Quran that says قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. Is this the paradigm? Is this what people are saying? And it goes like into the self-talk kind of, you know, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this verse of Quran says, just, you know, try to avoid listening to the self-talk that is coming and stemming from either Satan or people. And he asked us to say these things, start our morning with this kind of verse of Quran and evening with it. Is this related to the paradigm? Is this the same as the paradigm, Ustad Muhammad?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you have also فَلَا أُقْسِمُ بِالنَّفْسِ اللَّوَّامَةِ. It is the same thing. You see, it's all about the self-talk. You need to make sure what you are telling yourself every day. And you need to watch out. This is why you have to be selective of what you are telling yourself. If I'm not lazy, I'm not disciplined. I'm not disciplined. Oh, doesn't work. Oh, no way. I mean, so you're repeating and make it a reality. Then things are not happening because of you, to be honest. So it is. So you need to watch out either from the shaitan or from the other people, what they are telling you, plus most important, not others, what they are telling you, it's what you are telling to yourself.
What I'm believing.
Yeah, what you are believing, what you are telling yourself every day. Some people, they said, try to leave your thoughts and write down whatever thoughts come to you. And you will find out these are the thoughts, the stories you are telling yourself about yourself.
Because earlier when you, both you, Paddy, and you, Ustad Muhammad, when you told me you can borrow our belief, I was just reflecting on this and it stuck in my mind. And I was just studying today in another program similar to Mr. Bob Proctor's program. And then when it came to the question, what action? So I defined my dream and it was like, okay, what action will you take and by when? Here, I started feeling my energy like going low and being sleepy, and my heart started beating fast. And then something like, I believe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, God talks to us in different ways. And I had this thought of just don't believe in yourself. You're not alone. Just believe in the higher power. Just go and do it, you know? And then that verse of Quran just popped up in my head as well. But then I still, as I'm talking to you now about it, I still have that feeling again. And I understand it's a self-image, it's a paradigm. And that's why I thank you both very much for your time that is invested in us here. And I look forward to working with both of you on my goals, really.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I only have one thing to say. I'm not Muslim. I'm born Irish Catholic. But we are made, I don't think it matters what religion, we are made in the likeness of God. And our self-image can be in the likeness of God. We are God's children. And I believe firmly in my years on this planet that my job is to bring God forward through everything I do, to be a daughter in whom he is most pleased. When I die and I get to what we Catholics call the gates of heaven, I want to meet my God, and I want to say, every gift, every talent, everything you gave me, I have given it all away. I want to get there, and I want my tank to be empty. I want to give away everything that God has given me, because I am grateful for every gift that I have been given. So for me, my challenge is to make my self-image match the image that God has of me. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it makes perfect sense. And I also believe the same. Like, I believe we're all the same and we're here to represent the power of God and how greatly and perfectly he created us to be. Thank you very much.
Thank you too. Thank you so much.
Eva, Rahman, do you have any questions before we conclude? Right. Okay.
Sorry, nothing from me. Thank you very much, Mohammed. I've really enjoyed you making me think about a lot of things in a very different way. And I really appreciate that. I've enjoyed these 3 days very much indeed. So good to connect with you. Thank you.
Thank you for
Rahman.
joining us.
And
thank you very much.
Yeah, if you can connect with me or Paddy, just have a chat about your goals. We can help, but no matter, I mean, we'll give you some tips on things, how you have your goals, what you things differently you can achieve them. So
yeah, for sure. I mean, Paddy is a dear friend of mine, and I will certainly, and she knows a lot about my background and what I'm hoping to achieve over the next few years. I've got a lot of incredible goals to achieve, and for sure, Paddy, I'll be in touch with you and just let you give you a heads up on what I'm going to hopefully try to achieve over the next couple of years. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's great.
I think this is a beautiful program for you to be considering as you go forward in your own coaching career, my dear man. I think this is a wonderful opportunity for you. I want to say thank you very much to Eva Owen, whom I'm seeing her in the chats there. Really great that you came on board here, Eva. I always appreciate your support of me. Eva and I worked together. We were colleagues in New York City. And we were both business English. We worked a lot with the people, businessmen and women, and the professions right there in New York City. And all these years later, we still managed to stay in touch. So anyone who is a coach, a teacher, a consultant, or who, and Begum, that's a wonderful opportunity for you to be with your family and be an elder. Be an elder in your culture and contribute your wisdom and your knowledge. I think that as we get older, it behooves us to share our wisdom. So that's another way of getting around your culture. Maybe people think that you're a little bit cuckoo, but you have a lot. You've shared a lot in just these few days. And imagine now when people come to you and you have these experiences that you can help them. And you can help them, your children, your grandchildren. I mean, I don't know why I'm picking on you, maybe because we're in the same age bracket there, but it's a wonderful opportunity for anybody who wants to contribute and share their wisdom. Laurent is another one with a most magnificent and interesting life story. And so, Laurent, you know, the guidance and the wisdom that you have, I mean, all of us, we live on this planet, and it's an opportunity for us to share what we learn and to give again. Maybe I'm nuts, but I just want to serve. That's all I want to do.
Thank you, Paddy.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Mohammad.
Thanks, everyone. And we really enjoy chatting with you, talking to you. And thank you for giving us, me and Paddy, an opportunity to present what we know and what we'd like to share for you to help you to achieve the results that you're looking for. thanks again, and looking forward to work together. Thank you. Have a
I
great.
wish everyone the best and great success. Love yourself. Love yourself.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.